All right, what is going on, everybody? I hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for watching as always. What are we checking out today? It is the new Keeley MANIS. This is a cool sounding overdrive pedal that's definitely based on the Golden Horsey. A lot of people love that circuit. I, for one, really like that circuit, but there's a lot of people actually don't like that circuit as much. There's elements that they may like, but then there's other things that they're just not happy with. In this case, Mr. Keeley has definitely nailed the authentic kind of Golden Horsey thing. This pedal is absolutely capable of giving you that, but it also gives you a little bit more, something different. It's almost like an evolution of the circuit that he's done here. So you can use it in germanium diode if you want the clon sound, but if you would prefer maybe a little bit more compression, maybe a little bit more kind of tube-like characteristic, maybe slightly more saturation, you can actually throw a switch and go from the GE or germanium diodes to germanium transistors. So it's a completely different feel. That makes this pedal really, really versatile. One of the other complaints that a lot of guys have about a clon pedal is the fact that it doesn't have enough low end, especially if you're just doing rhythm passes. Problem solved. You have a stock setting, which is going to be the clon setting, but you can throw a switch and add more low end, and then you can do combinations of the two, and we'll certainly get into all of that in the demo. So what's on the top of the box? It's straight ahead. You have a tone control, level control, and a drive control, just like you would see on the Golden Horsey. There's a switch on the right that allows you to choose between the aforementioned germanium diodes or germanium transistors. On the other side is another switch that allows you to choose between, as I mentioned, once again, your bass. So you can have it in the stock clon setting, or you can throw it up. It adds more bass. A soft touch foot switch. This guy comes programmed from the factory with buffered bypass, but you can change it to true bypass if you wish. You can run it from 9 to 18 volts DC. For demo purposes, I always run these pedals at 9 volts. Yeah, let's get into this thing. It is the new Keeley MANIS. All right, let's get into some sounds. You guys know the drill. Here's the guitar straight into the amp. And here's the MANIS. right, my usual noodling and noisy volume pot on my guitar. Yeah, I just went through some settings. The way I started the kind of bluesy thing, this guff. That's really how I use a great sounding Klon circuit, and this is really close. In this setting, it's a Klon. Just to my ears, in my opinion, there's a little bit more of kind of an airiness to it in the top end, which I really like. But yeah, that's kind of where I start. I like to use it almost as an always on. So that's in the diode and the stock setting. If we just want more low end, which is always the complaint when it comes to a Klon, it's got that nice kind of honk in the top end that it adds, but some people want more low end, so it's a pretty easy fix. Especially if you're using it more as an overdrive. You can add more low end just by throwing that switch from stock to added bass. And while we're at it, talking about using it as more of an overdrive, we've heard, kind of what it does as a boost or a push pedal. I'm going to roll the gain all the way up. While we've got the drive up fairly tall, and that's a good sweep with the drive all the way up, especially in the GE, the germanium diode, it's pretty dynamic and expressive. Roll the guitar off, it cleans up really nicely. But since I've got the gain where it is, let's just throw back and forth between the transistor and the diode. I really like the transistor. It's a cool addition to this type of Klon circuit. I think it was really smart for Mr. Keeley, who is always thinking to take this approach on such a legendary circuit. It does kind of come in a little bit, but it also feels, at least to me, a little bit more compressed, a little bit more controllable. So maybe for solo sounds, I did employ that. I think I used it on, was it the third solo? Yeah, it was a third solo. I went ahead and did the transistor because it just felt cool. When you're playing single notes, it's a little bit less apparent than if you're playing, big chords, but it feels better. There is a little bit kind of more smooth thing to it. Both sound great. I guess it just depends on what your ears dig, but that's what's going on between those two settings. I'm going to go ahead and leave it in the diode mode. Actually, I'll go ahead and sweep because I didn't the drive in the transistor mode. Yeah, so it doesn't back off as well. It doesn't retain as much of the clarity in the transistor mode, but like I said, it feels great. It's nice for solos. So that's what's going on there. Let's sweep this tone control. So I was just trying to kind of show you guys what, how you can employ that tone control across the spectrum in all these different settings to dial things in. A little bit of movement goes a long way. Last thing I'll show you is just how much push we've got. So we're already above unity. About right there is unity. We can definitely just push the amp really hard, turn the drive down. Okay, that is the Keeley MANIS. It's a great sounding pedal, and as always, I really, really appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't hit the like button, please do me a favor and do so. If you're not subscribed to my channel, it would sure help me out if you were. And yeah, once again, thanks so much, and I will see you guys on the next one.